Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on board today and doing the interview with me. I'm here with the CEO of IE Call Center. And where are you based?
We're based in Coral Springs, Florida. That's
Oh,
where our
wow.
headquarters
Okay.
are. Yeah, it's
Okay.
South Florida. It's
Yes, that's awesome. Steve, can you share a bit about your role and your background and the history of your experience in the contact center space?
sure. I am the CEO. I am the leader
Yes.
of the company.
Hmm.
It's a second generation call center BPO company. Started as a typical switchboard answering service, and I'm really proud to say we're celebrating our 50th year in business this year.
Oh, wow.
And
Congratulations. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Well,
that's where I come from.
uh-huh. Great. Can you share a bit of the career path? As I know you said it's a family business and how you got started from your father, or
Yeah, my mom started this
okay,
business back in Greenwich, Connecticut,
okay,
and it started just in a house with two or three switchboards. You know those switchboards you see in the old movies where they answer the calls and they write down the messages and then they file them away in little cubby holes.
right,
That's how it worked, and that's how the business started. My path to getting here really started. I was a started off as a young kid playing a lot of tennis.
oh, you're a
And
tennis player. Oh, wow, I
yeah,
am too.
yeah,
That's great.
and I learned a lot about tennis. Tennis is in tennis you can win, but maybe not win the tournament. And I learned how to be a winner, even though maybe you didn't win. And I learned a lot of good lessons from that. How to really work hard, and it's a very individual sport. It could be very lonely.
Right,
So those I guess lessons of working hard by yourself really made me who I am today, and I really appreciate that. And made a lot of great relationships, and it's good to learn how to be a good winner, but also a good loser. And sometimes you need to know what it's like being on the bottom before you get on top. And those are
right.
some of my greatest lessons.
Interesting. So, what
Yes.
would you say differentiates your company from all your competition?
The greatest differentiator really is my people. I love
Hmm.
to say, it's my wonderful ideas, my great vision,
Hmm.
my decision to become a cloud business. 10 years ago, that's what we did. We decided to give up our offices and have over 150 people work from remote locations. And now we're international, so we have people working in many different countries.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. But really, the differentiator is our people.
Hmm.
I always say, like, hire folks, look for folks with talent. And,
Hmm.
with having over 150 employees, no one's great at everything. And
Right, I
so when I
agree.
see talent, I don't box them into a job. When I see talent, I try to say, well, where can that talent go? Could it go into the marketing department? Could it go into IT? Could
Hmm.
it go into HR? Or could it be they're just really good in operations, answering phones?
Right.
So I try to find talent and I try to redirect my staff of maybe helping them put them in the right place.
Right.
And that's what I do best. Is That's one of our great talents. My other great, I think, contribute that I contribute to the business is my ability to make relationships.
Right.
I love to make relationships.
Hmm.
As long as I have the people behind me to be able to deliver the goods, I love to make relationships. So love to be out there at a trade show, or love to be out there on the phones. I love to make relationships, and
No, that's
that's
great. I was just about to segue to, what is your client philosophy and your approach? So, can you expand more about that?
yeah. When you would use the word clients, I don't like that term. I like to use the
Okay.
word partners. I really do.
Partners. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we are. We're an
Hmm.
extension of their office, of their customer service department.
Hmm.
And I never think of them as clients. I think of them as partners. And as
Right.
long as, we partner well together, then that's
Hmm.
how I take it to the bank that, every one of my, clients are my partner, and that's how I
Right.
treat them.
No, it's good to know. So what kind of services does your company provide?
We know we a wide range.
Hmm.
I honestly to say, my dad taught me a long time ago when a client comes to you with a situation or a problem or an
Hmm.
ask, you never say no. Go back, talk to about it with your staff, and see how can you solve it. But
Hmm.
basically, in our company, we have a couple of directions we go in. We do a lot of phone support,
Hmm.
where we just do typical customer service. We do typical sales calls where we
Hmm.
actually sell products. A lot of billing inquiries. We also do a lot of outbound calling, tracking people down for a myriad of reasons. Um, Email support, big email support, um, all kinds of web support, whether it be chat support on all kinds of social media. That's what we do. That is the majority of our business. Do we do other services? 100%. But,
Right.
those are hitting on the key ones.
So is that pretty much the definition of what omni-channel services is, or is that the similar definition?
Yeah,
Like
I really think so. I think the
yeah,
Omni services, I'm probably not the best person to give the definition of it, but
right.
it is putting together a wide range of different services and
Hmm.
tremendous IVR capabilities. The one thing I'm real proud of one of our services is being PCI compliant.
Right.
Being a level one PCI compliant shop is a big deal now,
Hmm.
especially during COVID times
So
when
what does that mean, Steve, when, someone coming in that doesn't understand what that term means? What is PCI compliance?
PCI compliance is being able to take people's credit cards in a very
Hmm.
safe environment. And there are different levels, level 1, 2, and 3. We're a level 1 shop,
Okay.
and it took a lot to get there. And what does that mean? It means that our clients are safe from, or it could be as safe from breaches, and from all kinds of terrible things that can happen. You hear this, it's a dangerous world out there. And
Hmm.
we do tremendous training and we're on top of our game. And you have to be certified, and
Right.
we've gone that extra step to be certified with a cloud business, and that's a big deal because when COVID hit, the floodgates opened for us because we had lots of partners wanting to partner with us because the call centers of BPO companies they were working with were not PCI compliant with their agents being at home.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of my staff achieving that in the
Mhm.
last couple of years.
Yeah, it sounds like a really important criteria when someone is vetting for a contact center partner, for sure.
Sure.
Um, it sounds like you've been in business for over 50 years and you've had decades of experience behind you. What would you say are your top three accomplishments? Like in your mind, like of what you're proud of, the top three accomplishments that you had.
The top three accomplishments I really have is one of the latest ones as becoming a fully cloud business. It made a huge difference in our business lives here. That's
Hmm.
a big accomplishment. And why? Because we're only as good as the people that work for us.
Hmm.
And to be able to get talent around the world is phenomenal. People are asking you to work in different time zones at different times of the day. Folks are asking you to respond to emails while they're sleeping. And we need people who can
Yeah.
work all these, what I call crazy graveyard shifts.
Hmm.
So being able to be in the cloud allows us to get talent that we never got before. We used to have a call center in the Northeast where it limited us just to, I don't like to say this, but inner city situations.
Right.
Now being cloud-based, we are an international flavor, and we have great talent all over the world. And so that's one of my greatest accomplishments. The other great accomplishment is to figure out the technology on how to make this all work.
Hmm.
People's one thing, but making the technology work is wonderful. All the Amazon and Microsoft Cloud Service, we figured it out. The last great accomplishment is my training team. Because really, without them, all these other two stuff I spoke about, technology and and all the other good stuff doesn't work unless you have the ability to train. So putting our training in the cloud really is, I feel, an unbelievable achievement that we've done over the last couple of years. Trial by error, but it works and it's fantastic.
Those are great three accomplishments. Thanks for sharing that. I'm really curious as far as in your career path, what has been a major challenge where can you kind of paint a situation where you had to overcome and resolve a client, or in this case, or your partner situation? Any
Sure,
challenges? Yeah.
sure. Some of the challenges that we really had to overcome were, learning how to deal with weather-related patterns. Our clients, give us call traffic. Sometimes we deal a lot in the energy sector. And one of the greatest challenges I deal with is, working for energy companies that their call traffic is based on weather. And it took many years for me to figure it out, how to handle weather-related, situations, being
Right,
on call for it. And so that's one of the greatest challenges that we've overcome. Being able to staff with weather-related clients, very difficult situation. Um, you need to be profitable, but you need to give great service. So how do you play that balance?
right,
And have I figured it out 100%? Nah. But have I gotten a lot better at it by trial by error? I have. And
right,
and
right.
and I've taught my staff on
Mhm.
how to handle that really well.
What would you say your culture is like at IA call center right now? Like
It's a
if
great
someone were to
question.
join
It's
you,
a, it's a,
yeah,
that's a, it's a great question. And my culture is all based on trust.
okay,
Many years ago, over the years, I work with a lot of business coaches. Because the one thing that I love to do is I love change and I love to learn. So I've
mhm,
worked with many business coaches over the years. And there was one Saturday morning, I think we had an office in New Jersey back then. And I'm walking up the stairs and I say to my
mhm.
business coach, Richard, I'm like, what do I do here? Between, employee X and employee B, like, I put my hair standing on top of my head. He's like, you know what, Steve? At the end of the day, it's all about trust. If you
Mm,
can have a staff that all trust each other and you can walk into, employee meetings together and you in your heart know everyone trusts each other, then you can get through all hurdles. So
right.
my culture is all about trust.
Mm,
And that's what I believe in. As long as you trust and you believe that people care,
mhm,
you can get through
right.
all situations.
That's great to know. So, being in the BPO industry, what would you like to see happen in the future? Just in an ideal situation.
In an ideal situation, I love to watch technology get better. For me, it's all about uptime. So these VoIP-based phone companies and these cloud services that we use from Amazon and Microsoft, I would love to see them work more in collaboration with each other better. I'd love to see switchovers happen a little easier because it's
Right.
all about uptime for us. Some of the biggest stresses we have is, does phone company A talk to phone company B? Does this router talk to that router? And you can put stuff down on paper of this backup plan to that backup plan to have 14 million different routers backing up everything. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, when Google goes down, you got a lot of problems. And so
Definitely.
I would love to see technology, and
Yeah.
I'd love to see here throughout the United States, our government just invest more in the internet to make it stronger because we're as good as that last layer of the internet, no matter how private and how public it is. So I'd love to see the expansion and investment from the powers to be to make that stronger.
Interesting. I'm just curious, now with this big hype, I call it, for artificial intelligence, has that impacted a lot in your business and the way you carry on operations or?
It helps us on all sides, whether it
Right.
be searching out new clients versus handling current clients. Data is everything. Some of my top lead managers, that's all they do is review data, whether it be reviewing, past calls on a Christmas
Right.
day versus looking at data for our clients based on people's call history. Um,
Hmm.
it's really something that we like to grow on and look to invest more of our time in, because it's easy not to spend your time doing that. But I think that's something I wish to get better at
Right.
as we grow in this business.
Yeah. So how has being in business for 50 years impact your business strategy and your vision of moving forward now?
It's all those experiences for the last 50 years. Not that I've been here
Yeah.
50 years, but it's those last 30 years. It's it's knowing what it takes to be kind on the phone. It's knowing to be compassionate for your current staff. It's all those experiences that are going to let me grow to the next huge venture in my business.
Interesting. Okay, so I have just a few other somewhat not so related questions, which is, what would you say to an aspiring entrepreneur that's trying to build a business right now?
You know, you got to take risk. You got
Right,
to take risk, and you can't be scared of it.
right,
Risk is just an emotion.
right,
It's kind of a taught thing. There's no reason to be scared.
right,
I feel that it's okay to fail. I
right,
failed many times, and I
right.
think you're never going to be successful unless you're on the bottom first.
Mm-hmm.
How I feel. You got to know what it's like to be on the bottom before it's on top.
I agree.
So, and probably my biggest thing I tell my own children is there's two things that are very important. It's just, and they're simple. It's just don't quit and work really hard.
Wonderful. Thank you. Do you have any last specific message you'd like to share with the world?
Yeah, it's been a difficult year.
Right.
It's a frightening year with COVID.
I know,
Um,
exactly.
it's people sit on all sides of the fences,
Hmm.
and the one thing I can say for the next year, for the upcoming year, we're coming up on the holidays and New Year's. I say to everyone that it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fantastic year. We're going to come out of this.
Hmm.
You only have one thing to do in life, is to think positive, and to only think that things are only going to get better. I know they are,
Hmm.
and I look forward to a tremendous year this year,
Hmm.
and things to only get better. And I just look forward to just a lot of great things happening with the vaccine coming out. Whether you believe in taking the vaccine or not taking the vaccine, everyone has their own feelings. And the
Right.
one lesson I can tell you is, in my family, in my business, we have people that sit on all sides of the fences.
Hmm.
And the best thing I can tell everyone is that things are going to be great, and respect everyone else's opinions. You might
Right.
not agree, but respect. And
Right.
that's how I live my life. You
Right.
know, if people don't ask your opinion, don't give it. You know,
That's like one of the
that's a
best,
lesson.
one
That's
of
a
the best
lesson from my
things.
wife, and
Yes.
I listen to her every day on that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about your company, Steve.
Thank you
And
so
we would
much.
love to talk to you again very soon. Thanks
Appreciate it.
again. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.